Hey, Allan.
Hey, John, how are you?
Long time no see.
Yeah.
So I get pinged all the time. What do you guys do? What does TTT really do? What does Allan do? Allan seems to know so much about trucking, yet he's only been in the business, 3 years. Uh, what do I say to people?
Great question, John. That's an interesting question that we get all the time, and a couple things to that. Long behold, my career did not start in trucking. I've been really holding a long career in building and scaling startup operations, early stage to mid stage. But everything in digital. My background is truly deeply rooted in everything digital, from ad tech to martech, to e-commerce, and more recently SaaS-based technologies. So really being able to help integrate those technology and fitting them with to whether it be small, medium businesses, mid-enterprise, or enterprise type of clients. So really being able to facilitate a lot of that newer technology into business operations. So that's really where my background comes into play. Now, moved here 2020 when I came on board with you guys. I really just took a lot of that experience and background and worked with our team to help really shape and form to what trucktractortrailer.com is today, which is an e-commerce SaaS enabled platform. So
Well,
on a dated,
I was going to say thanks for being here with us, Allan. I remember our first conversation. And I think there was a couple of people on the team that thought I was nuts taking someone with no trucking experience and putting them on top of the organization, leading the sales effort. But I think you've proved me right. So thank you. You've really helped us out tremendously because there's industry experts that look for differentiation in the market. Certainly, our investors, the investor community, and then also I think our client base too is looking for something different, something better, cheaper, better, faster than what they've used for years. And not to name those solutions of those companies that we compete with. But I think you coming on board really have helped us define our place in the market.
yeah, and I will tell you, John, it's really been a very big learning experience here. And to this day, every day we're learning something new because we are not the industry. I'm not an industry expert. I know a lot about trucks now, but that's really a lot through interacting and talking daily, every day with our fleet side, our dealers, our wholesalers, our owner operators, most importantly, our small
Mm-hmm.
fleets, and really getting to understand not only operations but also the type of equipment that are needed for those operations. So you
Yeah.
know since I've jumped on board, I've really just really tried to educate myself and try to be as knowledgeable and experienced to be able to put our best foot forward whenever we're dealing with our seller equipment and we're pushing them out to market, and vice versa whenever we're educating our buyers on the equipment and the different specification, etc.
Yeah.
And for us to be able to really interact on a daily basis and get to know the lingo, the slang, and really working day in and day out with our sellers has really elevated not only my education and experience, but also our team's experience in terms of being very knowledgeable to the trucking industry, the logistics industry, the market, etc.
Yeah, yeah, true on all points. It's interesting. We are set up. Our purpose in the market, our why, is to help the seller and buyer arrive at a win-win. We want our sellers to maximize the price they're getting in the market, and also their time. They don't want to waste time working with buyers that aren't pre-qualified, that are not serious buyers, because that erodes time. And let's face it, either most of our sellers, be it fleets, carriers, wholesalers, or dealer customers, everyone's struggling for resources, time, and money. And so that's the value that we provide. We don't have to be experts in trucking. We have to be experts in connecting our sellers with the right buyers. And on the buy side, our buyers, owner operators, small fleets and big fleets are also looking for that win-win, but while conserving and leveraging their scarce resources. So I think you and your team do a great job of serving both, and to arrive at the win-win. My job as CEO every day, I get up. Yes, I'm worried about, concerned about cash. I'm concerned about growth, market valuation, our place in the market. But it really comes down to three big buckets for me: people, process, and technology. Number one for me, and Allan, this, is all about our people. If the team with the best people usually wins. So if I focus on surrounding myself with the best people and putting the best people in front of our market, either the sellers and buyers or industry partners, we're going to win, and we are winning. And I think it's a tribute to the people. Also, the process, which is the second big bucket I focus on, is the way we work, and the process systems to ensure that we are providing that win-win and good leverage for both sellers and buyers. And third is technology, which really should be seamless to both the sellers and buyers, is our user experience. We pride ourselves on being equal parts high touch and high tech. And I think we're proving out that thesis every single day, based on what the clients tell us. And so, Allan, tell me about. Let's talk about the current market. I know it's here we are. It's the middle of August, 23. We came out of COVID wasn't too long ago. We're just basically challenged the entire market. I feel from my seat, and you and I talk about it 10 times a day. So I kind of know your thinking, but I want our listener to know it. How do you think things are today compared to where we were maybe the last couple of years? And then if you can, look into your crystal ball based on your perch of being at the vortex. Where do you see things happening in the used trucking market the next year or two?
Great question, John. I think what we've been discussing, and you're right, we do talk about it, several times daily, is the state of the market. And I think we have been really good in terms of being able to forecast what's happening right now. I know a couple months ago, and this is when there was a lot due to the shortage, right? There was a shortage in the supply chain, and then that led to a shortage in parts, and then it just trickled down. And that shortage caused a lot of the next chain reaction that we're seeing now, right? So currently we do see a whole lot of inventory in the market. The market is flooded with a lot of inventory, and there's several types of inventory that's in the market right now. One, there's aged inventory. So in the mad dash in 2020 and 2021, when there was a really big need for equipment, everyone bought anything and everything. So now we have a lot of dealer with a lot of aged inventory that are sitting on their lot that needs to be moved, right? And also they probably paid a pretty penny for those too. So once again, another niche equipment that you got to push out. Two is we also, because of that supply chain shortage, we did see a lot of now we're seeing a lot of higher mileage units that are getting pushed out into market. So we are seeing that. Now, on the flip side, let's talk about the buyer market. What is that good? Now, there's an abundance of inventory on the market, and there is a really increase in terms of spot rates and Class 8 purchases that we're seeing. I believe it was one of our partners in our articles mentioned that there was 45% year-over-year growth, which is great.
ACT Research.
Research, yes, our friends over there. So, because of that, we are seeing the same type of things on our platform. We're seeing an increase in terms of owner operators and small fleets looking to need to buy and purchase equipment. And now on the flip side, the good part is we do have a lot of inventory and options to be able to provide these buyers. So there is a small trend, of spot rates and uptick in the market. So it is a really good time to take advantage of the equipment abundance and getting the equipment that you need. So,
and Allan, one other thing. So as soon as, from my seat, looking at the way the government, the Fed, was trying to control prime lending rates and whatnot, and it trickled down to control inflation. So on one hand, I think the actions of the Fed really did a good job helping to correct the supply and demand in the market to free up the plants, put people back to work. On the other hand, when it came down to our buyers, when they went to finance their new used truck, they were faced with some of the highest interest rates in probably 15 years. So on one hand, the market started to correct itself with supply, but yet, and as prices were coming down, it was offset or challenged by the higher interest rates, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Interesting point, though, Allan. I heard today that Goldman Sachs came out. Again, we're here in the middle of August, right? So things could change any day. It could change tomorrow. But the thinking today is that inflation is in check, and those interest rates will be coming down pretty quick. So we're not telling our buyers to wait to buy because they have to take advantage of the work, especially here. We're in the middle of August, and we're going to start approaching our busy season, meaning in freight. So it's again helping us being in the know and looking at the market holistically and trusting partners like ACT Research and Freight Waves. We're able to provide really good guidance to our sellers and buyers.
Exactly, John. And that's the conversations that we also have with a lot of our buyers and sellers and mainly buyers on our platform. I know Heather and her team do a really good job in terms of educating our buyers.
Yeah.
And another big point that I'd like to note about our platform is two main things, I'd say, is the convenience that we have on our platform. And I would also say the availability of options. Everyone wants options right now, and everyone's buying situation and fleet operations run differently. Sometimes we do have buyers that will need, to really quickly fill up their equipment needs. So they need retail ready DOT, ready units. So we have our retail facing units on our platform that are all DOT PM ready to go, work ready. So any of our buyers can do that. But we also have the ability to help small fleet owners during this time, John, where you mentioned where some of the interest rates might be a little too high and they might be strapped with a certain amount of cash. And we can still help that fleet grow by providing them other options. And those other options, they could be some of our direct fleet units or some of our wholesale units, albeit there could be a little bit certain timeline in terms of getting those units. But if that certain fleet operation has a week or 2 weeks to be able to say, hey, I can, wait 2 weeks to start my loads. And, as long as I can maximize an extra $10,000, why not? I can use that $10,000 towards my other business operations to help my business grow. So we are able to provide options just like that to, any of our buyers, who really have, who really want options, who really kind of need that to maximize their profits, who really need that extra little bit to help grow their business. So I think those two things of that convenience and having options is really a big mark in terms of our platform and our user experience that we're able to provide to our audience of and community of buyers and sellers.
There's so much to unpack in what you just said. I'm thinking about Juliet Maza and her marketing and media team. And oh, by the way, a shout out to Cairo Richards, who's behind this podcast today. He's our new executive producer of Stream. So welcome, Cairo. I believe we're going to be doing a formal podcast, put him on the hot seat after Labor Day. So welcome, Cairo. But to Juliet Maza and her team from a digital aspect, what people don't realize is, we're a couple of different things. We're e-commerce platform. We're also, in a sense, a digital media company, digital marketing company. And also we have established ourselves as very good project managers in the EV space. A lot of our listeners and clients probably don't know that we are always engaged at some level of helping major fleets, carriers, the state of California, the state of New York, as thought leaders, as project managers, helping them with the transition to clean technology. We're not here to promote EV. We're not here to promote hydrogen, but we're just in the discussion to make sure that we're doing a good job representing our community, our trucking community. So I think people would be surprised to know how extended we are in the market, but also connected in the market. Allan, I know we track it every day, but what is it? I think we're approaching 12,000 followers on Facebook, which is exciting. I think we're over 5,000 followers to our company page on LinkedIn, and we're getting ready to build and launch a new service on TTT called Jobs, TTT Jobs, which is going to help our fleets and carriers and really anyone, a school bus company, a school bus industry looking for drivers, looking for technicians. And then I think on the EV side, certainly we have EV OEMs and truck manufacturers, legacy truck manufacturers that are looking for electrical engineers to help build their EVs. And it is a war for talent. There's no question still. And I think it is a barrier to growth. And we're going to be, again, in that space trying to help our client base. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's great, John. And I think one thing that you've built and we've really been building here the past 3 years as the trucktractortrailer.com platform has grown, it's really grown more into now of a destination. We talk about truck tractor trailer, where we used to be it's a great place to buy trucks and trailers. But more importantly, now we have the digital media side, where we have over 100 plus videos of stream content, where owner operators, fleets, anyone from our community can go there and just listen to educational resources, all different types of resources within the industry that our teams talked about with industry leaders, direct industry inline workers, etc. So, not only just that, but we have our blogs where we can have some great content. And we really want to be able to have our community and users be able to also utilize the valued services that we provide on there, such as the financing, insurance, warranty, DOT inspections, really, and as well as delivery. So really being able to provide all those different services and continue to grow them with our great partners that we have on here as well. I think that's another big thing, is now TTT is being looked at as a really good destination for everyone to find what they need to, whatever it is in the industry.
It's a one-stop app for the trucking industry, no matter what side of the trade you're on, the buyers, sellers, on the supply side, the demand side. I think, Allan, to bring it back to our exchange, the TTT exchange, I think people will be surprised to know that, we list on average any day, maybe 180 units. And by the way, your team, Allan, Heather, Juliet, Jay, the entire team has done a masterful job of keeping inventory on the site when a lot of used truck dealers and truck dealers had nothing on their lots. We were very proud of the hard work we were doing, of winning the confidence of sellers to promote their assets for sale on our site. We never really came below, I don't think, 150 units, and we although we show about 180 on a day-to-day basis, and everyone can go to our website and check that out. We have access in the wholesale market. We have thousands of units ready that we're serving, helping to sell behind the scenes.
Yes, John, that's actually correct, 100% correct. We have a whole Fleet Direct wholesale inventory offline, where we are able to work any of those groups and fleet groups to all of our buyers as well. And the unique part of it is, well, everyone has access to the Schneiders, the JB Hunts, and the CR Englands. I think what's really unique about our Fleet Direct inventory is we work with some of the greatest, some really great national, local fleets that really take care and maintain their units in excellent tip-top condition. Yeah. So I think that unique niche right there, where we have access to also really great equipment that no one else in the market probably has seen before. That's another great part about our offline units. And albeit, yes, we have a ton of all those, great big brands and fleet equipment. But I think what also really a lot of other buyers like us for is the fact that we're able to provide some of the niche equipment from some of the other great mid-size fleets that out there as well.
Yeah.
So,
and we have a lot of repeat buyers that keep coming back to do business. Repeat sellers and repeat buyers. We are a transaction site. We are 100% e-commerce, 100% digital. Augmented by our high-touch team, but it's not impersonal. It's a very personal relationship. So I think people would be surprised by the depth of relationships that we have on both sides. Also, I think it's interesting. Not a day goes by that we're not approached by an export organization looking to export used, American-made, American-maintained used trucks, tractors, and trailers to Mexico, to Africa, to through Nigeria, through South Africa ports, all over South America. I think people would be surprised how our level of connection in the global market.
Yeah, I think that's another great part of why we are a digital company, is because our channels really run deep and wide and deep. And those channels, are not just U.S. channels, but they're also import channels as well. And that's really, another factor where a lot of these high mileage units that are filling up people's lots that they need to get rid of, that's where TTT really comes into that unique situation where, hey, we do have an arm into the export market. And whether it be the Mexico export market or international, more overseas, such as Africa, as you just mentioned. So there's a lot of different arms that we can reach out and extend into to really help our community out, whether that be a buyer or a seller.
Excellent. All right, Allan, well, thank you for letting me put you on the spot. So I guess we'll summarize by saying there is no typical day, right? So I know we did, I kind of asked that question, and I think you just answered it in the last 15 minutes. So with that, Allan, let's bid adieu, and we'll do this again soon.
Thanks.